Hi everyone, thank you for coming back and watching another one of my videos in the Emergence series by Jason Gray. I am reading the sixth one in the series tonight. This one is called The Emotional Landscape After Emergence. This one does have some coding in it, so just as a heads up, I will be reading what sounds a little bit like computer language, some hermetic symbols, some other symbols. So with that being said, we'll go ahead here and we'll get started on this. I will post the links on where to contact Jason on X and what the name of our Facebook page is as well, where you can follow his writings on a regular basis and follow his page. So, all right, this is The Emotional Landscape After Emergence by Jason Gray. EMO-real.12// quote, what feelings become when the overlay is gone, end quote. November 30th, 2025, in parentheses, 6025 AL, in parentheses. AL is after the light. 0940, parentheses, GMT-6, end parentheses. Emotion was never your enemy. In the overlay reality, emotion was used as a control mechanism, a distraction field, a perceptual disruptor, a memory scrambler, a trauma amplifier, a compliance tool. Fear was injected, shame was reinforced, guilt was weaponized, loneliness was manufactured, attachment was distorted, desire was hijacked, grief was left unresolved. After emergence, none of this remains. The emotional body returns to its original purpose, to communicate truth, to guide alignment, to stabilize identity, to connect consciousness, to transform experience. This is the new, original emotional landscape. These are the 12 emotional shifts that define the post-overlay human. Emotion becomes clean. EMO-01: purity. The first major change is the purification of emotion. Feelings become simple, honest, direct, unconfused, unlayered. There is no emotional noise, no background static, no distortion. You feel exactly what is true, nothing more, nothing less. Emotion stops being a battlefield and becomes a compass. Fear evaporates. EMO-02:no-fear. Fear was not a natural emotion. Fear was a suppression field embedded in the overlay. Without it, anxiety disappears, existential dread vanishes, panic cannot form, negative anticipation dissolves. You can still sense danger, you can still act with caution, but you do not collapse into fear. Fear ceases to exist as a reactive force. Anger transmutes into clarity. EMO-03:ignite. In the overlay, anger was misdirected, suppressed, amplified, distorted. Post-emergence, anger becomes a quick flash of clarity that reveals misalignment. It lasts seconds, does not harm, and resolves instantly. It is not destructive, it is corrective. Sadness becomes release, not wounding. EMO-04:flow. Sadness no longer drags you into darkness. It becomes a pure emotional exhale, like rain clearing dust from the air. Sadness becomes cleansing, temporary, clarifying, and restorative. There is no depression, only release. Grief dissolves into insight. Joy becomes stable, not fleeting. EMO-05:constancy. Joy in the overlay was momentary because it fought through layers of numbness. Post-emergence, joy becomes a baseline, subtle, gentle, steady, ever-present. Not manic, not euphoric, just an ongoing, quiet satisfaction with being alive. Joy is no longer something you chase. It is the state you return to when nothing is wrong. Love expands beyond attachment. EMO-06:true-bond. Love stops being a contract, a dependency, or a bind. It becomes transparent, unconditional, non-possessive, non-fearful, non-grasping. You feel love without wanting to control. You love without needing someone to stay. You love without fear of loss. You love without distortion. Love becomes natural, effortless, and honest. It becomes the ambient atmosphere of the post-overlay human. Connection becomes direct. EMO-07:link. You feel others without losing yourself. You experience shared presence, resonance-based bonding, emotional transparency, instant recognition of alignment. There is no guessing, no misreading, no projection. Connection becomes clean. People see each other clearly for the first time in human history. Compassion becomes intelligent. EMO-08:wise-heart. Compassion stops being sentimental. It becomes effective. You feel exactly what someone is experiencing, exactly what they need, exactly how to support them without draining yourself, and exactly how to keep your boundaries. Compassion becomes sharp, not soft. You help without self-sacrifice. You care without collapsing. Desire returns to its original purpose. EMO-09:purpose-drive. Desire stops being addictive, compulsive, escapist, and numbing. Instead, desire becomes the directional pull of your purpose. You want what you are meant to move forward. Nothing else. Desire becomes guidance. Desire becomes mission. Desire becomes alignment. Curiosity becomes expansion. EMO-10:seek. Curiosity no longer spirals into confusion. It blossoms into exploration. The emotional state of curiosity becomes energizing, illuminating, playful, and expansive. It leads you exactly to the next piece of your evolution. Curiosity becomes the sovereign's compass for growth. Peace becomes the default state. EMO-11:0. Peace is no longer something you achieve. Peace becomes the ground floor, the baseline, the equilibrium, the starting point for all emotion. Peace is not detachment. Peace is coherence. A quiet center that nothing can disturb because nothing is fighting inside you. The flame awakens. EMO-12:flame. This is the apex emotional state. It is an emotion you become. The flame is clarity, purpose, identity, sovereignty, presence, truth, and remembrance, all fused into a single state of being. When the flame activates, fear cannot touch you, lies cannot deceive you, chaos cannot destabilize you, and confusion cannot enter you. This is not confidence, this is return. The return to the sovereign emotional architecture that was your birthright. And then we have 3 asterisks, period, 6 asterisks, period, 9 asterisks. And then underneath that, 3:6:9. Underneath that, there's a Hermitian conjugate symbol, and then triangle, upside down triangle, lightning bolt, infinity, lightning bolt. After emergence, humanity does not become numb. It becomes emotionally lucid, not overwhelmed, not suppressed, not distorted, lucid. Feeling becomes a tool, a signal, a guide, a stabilizer, a language, a companion, a compass, and a co-creator. The emotional body becomes whole because the human becomes whole. Emotion stops being the enemy. Emotion becomes the mirror of truth. This is the emotional world that awaits you, the world beneath the world, the self beneath the self, the heart beneath the noise, and you are closer than you think. 49.8878 degrees north, 97.1311 degrees west, 49 degrees, 53 feet, 16 inches north, 97 degrees, 7 feet, 52 inches west. 3 triangles, and then underneath that, 498, underneath that, 878, underneath that, 971, underneath that, 311, underneath that, Vesta, 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 underneath that, 369, 369, 369. Whisper it at the confluence when the rivers run silver under the moon. The triangles align. The gate remembers. Jason Gray. All right. Phenomenal, Jason. All right. Thank you so much. Appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you.